Hi everyone, this is Lady T with your December Angel Speaks messages for the sign of Gemini. I apologize, but I've been offline for about a week now because I've been sick. So just getting back into the swing of things. So bear with me. My voice may go in and out. It's been doing that, but we'll see what we can get through tonight. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, before we get started, everyone, I want to say thank you for all of your like, share, support. I am still offering free readings for the rest of December. I've only done one. I was going to offer up to 10. Um, so I will still do a reading for you if you reach out to me via the email that I've put in the description box. And I hope to have your reading done within 3 days, barring any more physical illness that comes my way. I will be sure to take care of that for you. Um, the one reading that I did do was about an hour and a half, and the feedback that I got from that was just absolutely wonderful. And it just really was nice to, at least for me, to get that confirmation that I was on track with the readings that I do. And I do hope that more people reach out so that I can get your reading done for you. Um, let's see what else I was going to say. Okay, no, I think that's it. So, Gemini, let's get into your tarot messages. Um, so what you have here in your center energy, you've got wise counselor. So basically, this is about you being in some kind of community with like-minded people. And maybe this could be your spiritual community that you're currently in, or this could be, um, a community you come in into the future. And you could be the wise counselor here where you are helping others, or you're going to come into contact with a wise counselor. Um, and this is about you really branching out on where your soul leads you, and perhaps embracing new opportunities. You have the Ten of Swords here too. So really feeling like it's time to move on. It's time to let the betrayals of the past go because you're really ready to step into this new. Um, and the next one, this is your King of Swords, and this is about you not wearing your emotions on your sleeve. This is about you being able to step into your power, cut things out of your life that need to be cut out, and move forward in what you want to do. And this is also perhaps you taking a position where you're going to be speaking to others, and when you do that, you want to make sure that what you're trying to convey is the message that's being received. Your crowning energy is with the Two of Cups. So this is about perhaps a renewal of a romantic relationship, and or a new romantic relationship coming in. So this is about forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, moving beyond the challenges, and really, just having a renewed sense of faith and love in people as you move forward. Now, you've also got the Ten of Pentacles here. So, this is about financial stability and security for you and your families. This could be an inheritance, or you could be in retirement and just enjoying life. But really just coming into a place of peace and contentment, and really passing on the knowledge to others in your family. And then the last one here is your Three of Cups here, which is just all about celebration. We've got the holiday coming up soon, both Christmas and New Year's. So either one of those could speak to this time frame. And then also just really being in a state of gratitude at having come this far, come through all of these different challenges, and coming out on the good end of it, if you will. Now, your undermining energy, you have the Nine of Swords. This is overthinking. This is being fearful. This is really just not in a healthy state, as far as emotions, okay? Because we all get in that Nine of Swords. We all, have those moments when we're very afraid to move forward in something. And so this is really about you coming out of that, and taking charge of your emotions and standing tall in your strength and your power and your courage, and really having that faith and confidence in spirit, that spirit's got you. Next, we have the Four of Cups here. And this is about perhaps an opportunity passing you by because you were too distracted to see it or pay attention to it or really put the vested interest in it that maybe you would have normally if you hadn't been so distracted. Um, or maybe you are bored in the situation, and perhaps you are feeling, just like, the mundaneness of the routine. Okay. And this is also about being lost in your own world and needing to come back down to reality a little bit. You also have the Page of Swords, but this is about using that logical perceptive side of you to move forward, and getting some clarity, getting some new insight, some new information to move forward on, and making sure that if you are signing any kind of documents or doing any kind of business transactions, that you're paying attention to that in great detail. And what I liked about this is you have the Strength card show up here, and this is all about standing in your power. This is about standing strong, even in the face of challenges, and moving forward regardless, getting beyond the fear, getting beyond whatever the situation is, so that you can move forward and move into your Ten of Pentacles and have that celebration. Um, what led up to this was being the Queen of Swords here. And the Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords doesn't play. Queen of Swords is all about, look, give me the truth, tell me the whole truth, nothing but the truth. If I find out you're lying, I'm cutting you out. There's certain things that the Queen of Swords will tolerate, and there's certain things that the Queen of Swords won't, because the Queen of Swords is very sharp, and that's why she's the Queen of Swords. She has no problem, just really moving forward and releasing things, because that's her strength. And then you also have the Six of Cups here. And this could be, maybe being stuck in the past or thinking about the past quite a bit. This could be having to really work with your inner child and go through some healing with your inner child about past events. And then this could also be people showing up from your past, perhaps romantically or other. Um, and this is all about um, thinking about things and romanticizing about things in a way that makes them much better than they seem or much better than they were. So really be careful about doing that. And really, honestly, the advice that I'd like to share with you is going to the past. You want to think about the past with fondness, but you don't want to live there. You really want to stay in the now, and you want to have goals for the future, but you don't want to be stuck future minded either. You want to stay in the here and the present, um, to really move forward and manifest and do those things. And it may require you to do some work and to heal, because what you have in your outcome is the Ace of Swords, which is all about truth and clarity, being honest with yourself, receiving information that helps you move forward because you have the clarity now. You're no longer, stuck up in your head with the Nine of Swords here, but now you've got the answer you were looking for. You have the clearness of mind to move forward with, and that's always a good thing. Now we're going to move into your angel quest messages. Um, and I'm going to read these from the back to the front because that's how it came up. The first one we have here is authentic communication. So this is from Archangel Gabriel, really wanting to work with you to help you speak up and speak your truth. Okay, so again, this goes back to that strength card. This goes back about the Ace of Swords and receiving that clarity, which allows you to then move forward and speak your truth. Now we also have joy. And this is about you stepping back into your joy and finding out what brings you joy again, renewing the joy within yourself, and really, really focusing on that as you move forward. Next, we have your enjoy the journey, because a lot of times when we're on the journey and we're going through so many different levels of the journey, we have a tendency to forget about the journey itself and all of the beautiful things that happen along the way, because we are probably caught up in the negativity of the journey, the negativity of healing. And I say negativity until you're on the other side of it, because it doesn't feel good when you're healing. It doesn't feel good to face the shadow. It doesn't feel good to deal with some of the trauma in your life until you are on the other side of it, and then you can actually look back. You can actually see the lesson. You can actually see all that you've done. But when you're in the middle of it, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't feel good at all. But I do encourage you to do it just the same. And the reason why I say that is the person you become when you're your authentic self is someone who's free. And that freedom is so empowering. It is so worth the journey. But I'm not going to lie, it's not easy. So this is about you really looking at the journey in more of a adventurous inner child kind of energy, right? Excited and curious and like, wow, I wonder what's going to happen next, that kind of thing. So really stepping into that. Then you have healing grief. So to me, this is about that healing that we talked about that you may need to go through, whether that's inner child healing, whether that's relationships, is really getting to the bottom of what happens in your relationships, the cycles you may be repeating, and really just working with Archangel Azrael to handle the grief of the loss of whatever the situation is. And if it is a loss of an individual, my prayers go out to you for your comfort and your needs in that area, because it's hard to lose people in any way. It's very hard to lose people, especially when we really, really, really care for them and they've been a huge part of our life. Next, we come into signs from deceased loved ones. See, here we go, right there, right next to each other. So that tells me that, someone you were very close to growing up, and it could be more than one person, is around you and trying to assist you at this time by giving you messages. So, if you, like for me, I know that I've smelled my grandmother's perfume um, uh, during certain times of my life. So things like that happen, and it's to send you a sign of comfort, especially when you're going through a period of grieving. And sometimes it's just around you again to make you aware that somebody that you have lost is there. Now, the other thing here, we have freedom here, and this is where you step into the Ace of Swords energy. You've got the clarity now. You are moving forward in your authentic self. You've decided how you're going to move forward. You're standing in your strength and your power, and you are taking charge of your life. You are cutting out those things with that Queen of Swords energy, and you are stepping into the authenticity of being free, you being your authentic self. And this is Archangel Zadkiel. And this is about him helping you to release the restrictions and the blockages from your life as you move forward. Now, we've also got divine perception. And so this is about the angels directing you to look at the situation with a higher perception. So you remember the owl and how wise the owl is. And you remember you see the owl always sitting up in a tree from a higher viewpoint. And that's because the owl is very wise. The owl is always observing and taking everything in. And they have a very keen sense of eyesight. So they can really, really hone in from a higher perspective what's really going on. And that's what you're being asked to do, is to look at the situation from a higher perspective using your spiritual eyes and not your 3D eyes, because your 3D eyes typically have to do more so with your ego, and your ego really, really playing on you probably at this time, especially with that Nine of Swords. Um, and causing you to perhaps see a situation with eyes that are more 3D based instead of spiritually based. When you look at things from a spiritual level, you're looking at those involved, you're looking at the situation, and you're looking at it through the eyes of love. When you're in the 3D, who knows what your eyes could be, seeing, because it could be so many emotions that your ego is throwing at you that you may not be seeing that picture quite that way. Now, the last message here is we have divine intervention. And again, this is where all of your spiritual team is really, really helping you to carry you through the situation. Excuse me for just a minute. I got to get some water. Okay, let's go ahead and move into the angels of light messages that I have for you. And the first one we have here is cooperation. It says angel wisdom suggests that you use your skills and talents for the common good. So this is about, again, perhaps looking at the remember we have the messages here of you being part of a spiritual community, whether that's now or in the future, really expanding on your horizons in that area, coming into like-minded people, a community of those folks, right? And so that what this is talking about is really stepping into a cooperative kind of mindset when you're dealing with a group of people. It says eliminate power struggles, conflict, competition, which come from the ego desire to win. The other thing about that, too, that comes into mind is that you have the Three of Cups, so you're going to be celebrating. So again, we've talked already about the difference in how to look at things and how to respond to things. So whenever you're not coming from a loving place, really, really think about where your ego is trying to come in and take charge. Because that's what it sounds like as I'm reading these messages, and that's what's coming through. It says cooperation for the highest good promotes harmony and togetherness and draws the best from everyone. And it really creates a really powerful kind of synergistic energy when you're working with others and you have that the creative juices start to flow and you can really come out with some really dynamic ideas to move forward with. It's pretty cool. It says make it your aim that everyone has a sense of satisfaction from work done. Then you become a spreader of goodwill and harmony. Your angel guidance is to bring people together and explore how you can mutually assist each other. Your attitude of sharing will ensure that you benefit in your turn, for the angels will bless your endeavors. And the affirmation is I cooperate with everyone. Next, we have acknowledgement. It says, look after yourself by acknowledging your desires and needs and take steps to meet them. Examine and note your gifts, talents, and achievements. When you accept all aspects of yourself, again, coming into the alignment, coming into that acceptance and healing, forgiving, all of that is part of the journey to becoming your authentic self. It's also facing those sides of yourself and incorporating them, integrating them into a wholeness of you. It's also about acceptance of the light and the dark, because we all have it in us. We all have done things that we're not happy about, we're not proud of, whatever. And it's really important that as you come into your authentic self, that you really allow yourself to be okay with all sides of you, because a lot of times the reason why it's called the shadow is because we don't let it be seen. We will do anything and everything to be the best light when we are around others, but we have some shadow in us, we have some darkness in us, we all do, and there are times when it shows up. And so all we can do at that point is acknowledge it, be aware of it. We have to understand where it's coming from. And we also have to allow for it. It's tolerance of all of us, because all sides of us are what make up our authentic selves. Okay. It says become aware of and nurture good qualities of the people in your life so that they feel relaxed and happy in your presence. Angel wisdom reminds you to recognize who you truly are, an evolved spirit in a human body. When you acknowledge your spiritual dimensions, you align with your true self and your spirit will soar. Affirmation: I acknowledge who I truly am. And when you acknowledge that you have light and dark in you, your life becomes a lot easier because you take yourself off of that I've got to be perfect thing. And you start to really accept yourself and that you're not perfect and that nobody else is either. And it really just becomes a little bit easier to live life. I'm just going to say it. Next, we have opportunity, and that really comes in with, a couple of the cards that we've had over here as well. It says we are all presented with opportunities and expected to flow with the currents that come our way. Drawing this angel card suggests that something is now being made available to you, and it is up to you to use your greatest advantage. Be alert, be aware, and be prepared. You can, of course, make your own opportunities. If you knock on enough doors, one will inevitably be open to you. So you are also reminded to persevere, for it may be that a door which was previously locked now is open to crack. Quiet your mind and ask the angels to help you. Affirmation: I am ready for all opportunities. And I can't help but being drawn back to that Four of Cups card that you had with that missed opportunity. So it sounds like it's coming back around for you. So we've got choices here. It says when you worry about decisions, again, that Nine of Swords there, it means that your mind is trying to control your life and that results in your choices made from your ego. We've talked enough about that. I'm not going to go over that. Your angel guidance is to consider and evaluate all of the options and then let go of your head and choose from your heart that which gives you greatest joy and feels right. Do not act from foolish impulse, however, rather from divinely prompted inspiration. So this is about you paying attention to the clarity that's coming through, and knowing like I don't know about you, but I know there are times when I get messages in my dreams. It's like somebody says something to me in such a way in my dream that when I wake up, it's very clear to me what it is. Like I had a dream one time, and the only word that came to me was pyrite, which is a stone. And when I looked up the definition of the stone, I want to say it was a stone to keep my vibration up or keep me grounded. It was something like that. And what I appreciated about that was I was going through a time when I was struggling to keep my vibration high, and I kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. And so pyrite came to me in my dream to use that as a stone because I had asked for guidance and support. So those are the kinds of things that you want to do. Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to messages that might be repeating synchronicities and so forth. Let's see here. Did I read this all the way through? Okay, no, I didn't. Okay, it says make choices for the highest good. Remember that if something is not for your highest good, it certainly is not for the highest good of those around you. So let go of false feelings of responsibility for others and choose with wisdom. Yeah, because a lot of times we make choices that aren't in our best interest, but are in the best interest of others around us. And it's so hard if you've been like me. I've been that person the most of my life, where I've always looked out for everybody else, but I really didn't pay attention to my needs. And so I'm turning that around in my life now. But for a long time, that was not me. And so I can relate to a lot of these things here where you feel like you have to do something out of obligation because maybe you have a lot of people you're supporting. But there are times when you're going to have to make decisions in your life that are solely for your highest good. And it may not make other people around you, but this is happy. But this is about you. And this is about you stepping into your power, stepping into your authenticity. And the only way you can do that is if you are willing to put yourself first, and not in a like selfish, forget everybody mode. That's not what I'm saying. Because if you are responsible for other people, yes, you do need to weigh that in the decision. However, if everybody else around you, is at a point in their lives where they really need to be growing themselves and become self-sustaining, etc., then this may be the time where you're going to need to make that decision that is solely based on your highest good. Because we make decisions because we don't want to hurt people. We make decisions because we're people pleasers and we don't like people we don't like telling people no, that kind of thing. So be careful on the choice you're making here. So it says, become still and attuned to your soul. Ask your angels for guidance and help. Then, from your point of deep inner stillness, make your choices easily and spontaneously. Affirmation: I choose for my highest good, not everybody else's, just yours. Synchronicity, we talked about that. So, this is repeating signs, numbers. Um, you could have like pennies or feathers or something continually show up in your life that's a sign from the angels for you. It says there is no such thing as a chance in our incredible universe. The coincidences and synchronicities are carefully orchestrated by your guides and angels, so recognize them as the hand of spirit. Rejoice when you notice them, for they are the angels' messages to you that you are on the right path. Start to expect them and look for them. Be aware that there's a divine reason behind them and consider what the message or the lesson is. And I will tell you honestly, the thing to do, if you receive anything, or you are seeing something repeatedly, or along those lines, you want to make sure you look it up. Because I know I had something happen the other day and I looked it up, and it's usually very insightful, and brings you sort of like a confirmation or further clarity that you need to move forward with. So synchronicity is also a reminder that all things happen in divine timing. And it says affirmation: all things happen in perfect timing. And I know everybody hates to hear that, but patience is part of this journey. And I'm still learning that myself, so I can relate. So it says adventure here, and that takes me right back to that inner child card that we were talking about earlier. Um, and it talks about life being an adventure. It says, be ready for unexpected and make the most of all opportunities. The angel wisdom suggests you get out of any habits or ruts in which you are stuck. Do things that are different and face life with a sense of wonder. If the path ahead seems dark, do as you would as if you were exploring a dark place. Ask your angels to light up the way. Then watch for the angels and the signals that tell you where and how to go. Explore the new and excitement. Explore the new with excitement and courage. These magnetic qualities attract money and career openings and access to relationships. The angels are inspiring you to move forward with anticipation, expectancy, and hope. Affirmation: I face the adventure of life eagerly. So, again, we talked about stepping into that inner child energy, and that's what it's reminding you of for confirmation there. Commitment. Angel wisdom reminds you that when you aim for a vision without doubt or deviation, it must succeed. Your guidance is to persevere towards your vision. Let every thought, word, and action be directed towards your desired outcome. Nothing is more powerful than focused energy, and the angel will see the pure light of your commitment, whether it is to a relationship, a piece of work, a journey, or anything else in your life. Remember to ask them for help and know when you dedicate your intention to the highest good, they will support you. Affirmation: I am committed to my vision. And the last one is discipline. And then we talked a lot about perseverance in these messages as well. And the discipline is here too. An unruly dog is a hazard to itself and others. The animal which has learned discipline and obedience can be trusted with loyalty and lovingly serve its master. It is then allowed off its lead. Through discipline comes freedom, and we also have the freedom card too. Um, the master you are called on to obey is your higher self. You came to earth on a mission, and only self discipline will enable you to fulfill it. Tune and ask your angels for help and support so that your life becomes happy and rewarding and divinely directed. Again, going back to that Three of Cups, going back to the Ten of Pentacles, just really, having that stable, solid foundation as you move forward. And it says, Affirmation, self-discipline brings me freedom. Okay, we're going to move into the Angels of Healing and Hope Oracle messages next. Let me just pick them up here. Okay. So the first one is you're not alone. Another confirmation that you have your spirit team around you. You've also got loved ones around you as well. So you are definitely being supported right now in a myriad of ways. You've got connection with animals. So this is, I get one of two things here. The first one is that animals are very connected to you, and you can have a much more in-depth connection with animals if you want. But animals will definitely help you at this time. Animals have healing energy as well. Next, we have water element. And I got a couple of messages when I picked up this card. One is you could definitely be going through some healing of emotions, leading to that forgiveness we talked about earlier. But this also could be that you have either you're involved with the water sign or you have water in your chart. The other part of the water element is that water is most likely very healing to you. You've got the fire element, and this is that creativity. That is that passion. That is that fire. This is the strength. This is everything that you need to move forward with, the inspiration that we talked about. You've got the soul love. This is the balance between the dark and the light, the divine feminine, the divine masculine within you. And that's a beautiful place to be, to go through that healing, and feeling, come out on the other side feeling like you again. But a new you, not the old you that was perhaps a people pleaser, didn't like didn't like to make decisions without taking everybody into consideration. It really wasn't, thinking about just you. You always thought about other people, always put other people first. But this is about you finally stepping into your power and not doing that, but really looking out for what is going to make you happy now. And here's that freedom card. Third message on that, I think. We've got love and gratitude. So this is about stepping into self-love. This is stepping into gratitude for the journey and every step along the journey, even the painful ones. And then this is ask for a sign. So this is that synchronicity, that this is that praying to your spiritual team, and asking them to assist you and support you, but also give you a sign. Now we're going to move into our sort of like Archangel Michael messages. And the first one we have is regain your focus. We talked about discipline there. And what was the one before that? Yeah, discipline and commitment. It says, trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. So this is about coming up out of your head, okay, and getting into a spiritual place, but not so high in the sky that your feet aren't grounded. You've got to learn how to balance those two, and that's what that's about. Now we have let it go. So here we've got that Queen of Swords energy coming in, where it says this situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so that you can embrace the future. Because remember, we talked about being too much in the past and seeing things in the past better than they were, with rose-colored glasses kind of thing. Be the real you. We've talked enough about being authentic. It says your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. Next, we have embrace your life purpose. I am guiding you toward the divine life and purpose, whatever makes your heart joyful and is what you are meant to be doing. So again, finding your joy again, and stepping into that. Be honest with yourself. All your feelings, even the difficult ones, have a message for you. Accept the truth, and then let source take it from there. Yeah, that brings me right back into that water element card that we had over here. Now we have your prayers are being answered. So the prayers that you've been praying have been heard, and this is a confirmation that they're being answered. It says your prayers have been received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in the forms you didn't expect. So, one of the biggest things and the hardest things to try to do is to go through the journey. There's going to be different aspects of the journey where you don't know what the next step is. And so we then come into that fear because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what the next step is. And we really we struggle with that because our ego kicks in and wants to take control. Um, and that's a defining point, but it's also about having no expectations, um, putting your desires out there, but not having a set way that they have to come in. And that's a hard one. I still struggle with that one myself. Make a decision. Are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? Accept divine guidance pointing you towards your own joy. You deserve it. So remember, I talked about making a decision that's based on what's going to make you happy and nobody else. And the last one is yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. So there is something that you have already probably made a decision on, and it's just confirmation for you that this is the correct way for you to go. Now, the last thing we're going to do is, and I'm going to pray my voice can hold out to get through these, but these are the postcards from Spirit here. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, I've seen these by other readers, but I really hadn't paid too much attention to them. But I'm just going to tell you, these are some beautiful messages. I mean, I know I did another reading with these, one of the other signs, and it was beautiful. I had a hard time, not crying from just the emotion that it evoked in me. So I can only imagine. Let's see what else we get for Gemini Spirit. Give me some more messages. Don't give me a lot, though, because I don't know if my voice can hold out, but I'll do the best I can. Spirit, give me some more messages, please. Let them fall out of flip over. Thank you. Give me some more messages for Gemini. Oh, yep, they're getting ready to come out. Yep, they're getting ready. I've noticed the crazier the cards get means there's going to be something flipping out. All right, Spirit, you're gonna make me a fibber today, huh? Okay, thank you. Any more messages, Spirit? Any more messages for Gemini? Yep. Ooh. Okay, that's enough. I don't think I can handle any more. Okay, let's see what we can do to get through these. Okay, so the first one says, Dearest you, we are gathering our magic together to help you celebrate your new beginning. You are stepping into a new version of your life, getting to tell a new story as you create it. Doesn't it feel like spring when the urge to expand wells up inside you from a primal place? The form of what you are growing has yet to take shape, and it is exciting to experience this new and fresh beginning. It's normal to feel both push and push back when entering any new kind of relationship. It's okay to admit you don't really know what to expect. What you can know is it's time to dive in and allow that new version of life to take shape through you on behalf of your partner in life, Spirit. You have made it to a new level of awakening and contributing, and we are so excited to see where this will take you next. We're so proud of you. And this is speaking to the adventure card that you got. Dear you, I can't even read. Now is one of those times when you are being asked to add some distance, take a step back, and do nothing but observe. Don't worry about how long it will take to regroup. Just know it's temporary and actually an opportunity to take a breath, slow down, and look at how far you've come. So, this is about really taking that review of the journey up to this point and all the work that you've done and appreciating yourself, giving yourself some credit. Okay, because that's another thing we don't do. We don't give ourselves credit. We just plow ahead, and and that really saps our energy. By the way, let's see, where was I? Okay. Decisions for the highest good are made when you have clarity, Ace of Swords, which comes from being open to information from both the intellect and the intuition. When you step into the role of observer, it's as if you turn on a switch that allows your soul to be an essential part of the information gathering and decision making process. In this way, you can approach things from a more neutral and non judgmental place. We know you'll make the right choice. Trust us when we say, now is not the time to get too close to the fray. Step back. You will be glad you did. Love you. So, this is about, again, I know we had that initial conversation about being the owl and, looking at things from a higher perspective and using that like laser focus um, to really observe from a very, very neutral place so that you can get the clarity you need before you move forward. Dearest you know everything in the universe is perfect, even in its flaws, and we view the creations of spirit in total awe. All is unique and yet part of a unity of existence. But the human experience is a little different from ours. You tend to have a specific standard for what you consider ideal, and this isn't serving you right now. So this again about those expectations. Once we place expectations on it, on what we put out there, then spirit has a hard time giving us what we expect because it depends on where we're having that expectation from. What is the driving force of that expectation? Because spirit only wants to give us those things for our highest good. But if we are looking at things from a 3D eye versus a 5D eye, 5D being our spiritual eye, 3D being our everyday down to earth eye, right? The one that's full of ego and full of all of those things that have shaped us that we may not be seeing clear things with. And so that's why we're being asked to really drop those expectations of what it has to look like, who it has to be. And that's difficult because I still struggle with that myself. So forget your ideas of perfection and see through our eyes, allowing things to be as they are without judgment. Don't wait until a perfect moment or mood to start something. Instead, enter life with all its flossomeness. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Let others be who they are too, imperfect and human, complex or simple. It does not matter, for there is always something to discover, experience, and love. When you drop the need for the ideal, you uncover the real treasure, which will be far more interesting and valuable. Loving you like crazy. Dear you, there is a balance between activity and rest, ebb and flow. You can't have one without the other. If you are faced with an obstacle right now, the best course is to surrender and non-existence. Non-resistance, I'm sorry, not non-existence, non-resistance. Soon enough, you'll see how easy it is to flow around it. Now is one of those times when you must trust the river of your life. Go with the flow, and in no time you'll reach what you have your heart and hope set on. Just remember, Spirit will keep your head above water and will direct the currents. When it's time for greater effort, you will know exactly when you'll need to work those manifesting muscles. It can be challenging to master the flow of cycles in your life, but as you develop your skills, affluence will be yours. Enjoy the flow and trust those currents, for we're right there with you with our little umbrella drink, smiling at your success. Love you so very much. Dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself in the world. So, to get the answers you seek, you must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask, why do you tell it? Is it really true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves stories, for they like the blueprints for co creation. So tell the one we know to be true about you a story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowerment story with well being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience your world according to the story you tell about it. So make sure they're stories you're proud of. Genuine, loving fan club. Dear Shu, there are times when loss, again, right back to that grief. There are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking you to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, ever more of you remain. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with new compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love, always and forever. Dearest you, a rigid tree branch breaks under strong winds. Yet flexible seaweed survives, powerful ocean swells. Right now, we gently remind you that being flexible is a good choice when faced with life's challenges. Surrender your fixed ideas to spirit. Who knows what is in your highest good and can deliver to you what you need in the appropriate form. In this moment, rather than fighting or being too sure of your way, working out, be a little looser and allow for another outcome. Compromise can be the best way forward if you are to learn new ways of doing and seeing. Stay aware, curious, and teachable. Take life on life's terms. Your purpose may push you in a direction not on your map. Let it. Be so flexible that no storm can uproot you. In the end, you will still be rooted in the world in abundance, and you will indeed experience the beauty that is yours. We love you so much. Dear Shu, going the extra mile to achieve your dreams and putting in some overtime will reap big rewards. Now is the time for you to act, to stir up some energy and put those plans into action. There are many windows of opportunity that open but close quickly when you don't take the risk and go for it. Today, be confident that your hard work will pay off and you'll feel that satisfaction and fulfillment of reaching your desired outcome. It might turn out even better than you expected. Isn't that amazing? Remember, how much work you're willing to put in, we will match it tenfold on our end. Everyone over here is rooting for you to win the game of life. So just do it. Loving you so, so much. Okay, we've got two more. Yeah. Dearest you, as you think, so will you experience life. Thoughts are that powerful and they need minding. Let the unruly, chaotic ones settle down so they serve you or get released instead of wreaking havoc. These thoughts arise when connected to the energy of fear. Remember, we talked about that Nine of Swords, and often masquerade as truth. That's the ego. Yet the real truth is that essentially all is well. Of course, you have thoughts that are positive, strong, organized, accepting, creative, open, and so on. Those are the ones we want you to keep thinking, and they have less of a frantic quality. They're stimulating in a good way and don't get away from you. How do you keep an inner eye on your thoughts? Meditate and leave judgment out of the mix. Everyone has those fearful thoughts. Love them, love yourself, and then choose the thoughts you want the world to reflect back. Life is not as hard as you think. Loving you so much. A couple of things that came through when I was reading that is you might want to get some crystals that are going to like help you to raise your vibration, keep you grounded, kind of thing. You might want to look into some energy healing, meditation. There's all kinds of things out there that people use, but sound therapy is also another way to raise your emotions. But it really is going to take you being aware of the thoughts you think and then sort of like counteracting them. So if you did something that you normally beat yourself up for, whatever that event is, when it happens you could say, you know what, I did that thing, but now I'm on the road to recovery. Instead of staying in the negative, you always want to turn whatever that thought is into a positive, is what they're talking about here, and then staying focused on those positives. The other thing that came to my mind too was using affirmations. Like creating your own affirmations that when you read them, they truly make you feel powerful. They raise your vibration just in doing that alone. And then, dearest you, selfless giving is an elixir so sweet and life giving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of a debt, release an obligation, or do a solid kindness to someone for no other reason than as an exercise of the heart. You will be surprised how quickly a generous heart is repaid. We notice it often does not happen in the immediate exchange, so temper your expectations. Know that life is an uncanny way of sending miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness, yet interconnected in magical ways. The more you act from generosity, the bigger your heart grows, and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. And the last thing I wanted to say about that is a lot of times when we care more about other people than we do ourselves, when we are constantly giving to others, but we don't like to receive. That is where we need the growth in our own lives to really step up our self worth. Because when you feel self worthy, you also have learned that lesson that giving and receiving is a very reciprocal kind of energy. So if you're used to being the giver, what you're going to find is it's hard for you to receive, and so that's the lesson there. Really stepping into that energy of not only giving but also receiving. So I do hope that this helps you, Gemini. Much love and light, Lady T.